Well, howdy, physics sleuths and inquisitive souls, and welcome again to yet another lecture of dynamic gravity. So, today we are going to talk about something new that nobody knows about, or at least, as far as I can tell, ain't nobody ever even half-ass mentioned on the interwebs ever in all of interwebs history. Which you've got to admit is very suspicious, right? Because with all the fake information and the conspiracy theories and all the crazy stuff, it's a bit much, right? And I'm actually, every time I see this, I honestly feel like I'm going insane. Okay, and it's called MoonGlow, as you can tell. At least I call it MoonGlow or Moonfire. And I have no clue what it is. I mean, I have a clue what it is, but what's actually physically going on? There's a Nobel Peace Prize just waiting to be handed out for this one. I'm telling you, it's pretty crazy. So, here's a story about this, okay? And I know you're going to be like, no, Sean, you're crazy. You're on the sauce again. You're not making any sense. No, no, not me, sir. I don't do the sauce. I would never drink the sauce. No, sir, not me. Okay, you caught me. I'm totally on the sauce, like all the time. But it doesn't change the fact that it is what it is. And I'm Irish. I can deal with the sauce. Literally, it's in our genes. It's what we do. Okay? So, excuse me. Drain damage from the war. Got blown up. So, here's a story, okay? About 10 years ago, I'm hanging out with my friend and a girl that I'm with. And I step outside. I don't remember, smoke a cigarette or grab something from my car or something. I don't remember. And I look up at the moon, as I always do, because I love the moon. And for whatever reason, on this particular night, the moon was on fire. It was on fire with like a white fire. And it was very blinding, like bright, like it wasn't like subtle at all. Like if you looked at it, like there was no other way to describe it than the moon is on fire. Okay, so you have like the moon, right? And the bottom half is where the fire is. It's like a real fire. It's like the bottom half is all like on fire with like wavy, energy, light motion, whatever, like an aurora borealis sort of thing. And it slowly goes all up depending on how strong the night is. It can cover the entire moon. Some nights only cover like the bottom half of the moon. Some nights it'll go all the way up, but it'll be strongest at the bottom half. Why is that? I don't know, but that's the way it is. So I'm looking at this moon glow, right? And I'm like, what the actual fuck is that? It's like, like you don't understand, son. Ever since I was a kid, man, since like, puberty at least, since like 14, 15, man, I would run out at night, middle of the night, and I would just go out into the middle of nowhere, as away from all the lights and everybody I could get, middle of a field somewhere, just me and a bunch of rattlesnakes rattling along, and I would just stare up at the skies on the big Colorado plains all night long until I get so tired I gotta go to sleep and go wake up school the next morning. But since I had severe insomnia, that didn't happen too often. So I spent a lot of starry nights out staring up at the stars. And I'll tell you what, I ain't never looked at the moon and saw that bitch on fire. Like, ever. Like, not even half-assed once did I ever look at the moon and be like, that looks like it's kind of on fire right now. Never. This night, it did. And I know I'm definitely not crazy because my girl, she came outside because I wasn't coming back in. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, do you see the moon right now? And she looks at the moon. She's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Yes, I know, right? You see it. I'm not crazy, thank God." And she's like, "Yeah, it looks like it's on fire." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fucking crazy." And then my friend comes out. I call him like, "Hey, dude, take a look at the moon, man. We think it looks like it's on fire. What do you think?" And there was nothing I could do to make this motherfucker, talk about it. Like, he just wanted to go on and on, joke after joke of how crazy I was, talking about how the moon's on fire. And I'm like, okay, just look at it though. And he finally looks at it, and I'm like, do you see it? And he'll start making jokes again, and I'm like, I get the moon's not actually on fire, bro, but can you just look at it and tell me if it looks fucking normal right now? And he's like, no, definitely not. He's like, there's some weird shit all around it. And I'm like, thank you. Like, after 10 minutes, it took me arguing with him to finally get him to say this. And I'm starting to think I'm crazy. Like, dude, but why won't you just look at the fucking moon and tell me it looks weird? Why won't you do that? And he finally did after 10 minutes of, arguing and all these stupid jokes about how crazy I was for thinking the moon's on fire. It was crazy. So it totally doesn't surprise me at this point that nobody's talked about this, because for whatever reason, a lot of the people that I brought it up to literally will go on and on about how stupid I sound rather than just tilt their head up and just look at the damn thing. It's like, this is too much work for them to do. But they'll go on and on and on about how stupid I am talking about moonfire and everything. It's insane. So let's dig into this. Let's just, we're gonna have to take our clothes off on this one and get fucking freaky. I'm sorry, it's the only way. We're gonna have to take our clothes off and get all slithered up and fucking and oil and shit, and just fucking dive in this fucking rabbit hole head first. It's the only way. It's so weird and so tight of a fit and such squeeze. There's no other way to get through this. It's just we have to get freaky. Like a full moon is the only way. So, what have we got here is, why is it not? There we go. Okay. So, I know it has to be caused from solar storms. Okay? This MoonGlow event has to be like some sort of aurora borealis for the moon. Okay? I don't know exactly how it works. We're going to dig into this a couple different theories, but it has to be somewhat like an aurora borealis for the moon, because it's not every night. It's only on certain nights, very rarely. And to be honest, probably one of the reasons why I never noticed it is because I've lived most of my life in Florida, okay? And then I lived in Colorado for a few years. But Florida's so far south, they don't get hit by any aurora borealis events, okay? Like, it's just a normal sky for them every single night. Even Colorado, it's not far enough north to really start seeing aurora borealis type events. And I've learned through trial and error that this MoonGlow or moonfire, whatever you want to call it, only seems to happen during strong solar storm events. Okay? So a solar storm is a disturbance in the sun that can emanate outwards across the hemisphere, affecting the entire source. So basically, the sun burps or farts, however you want to think about it, a bunch of plasma and stuff and ions and all sorts of crazy magnetic particles into a direction, and Earth, right, or in space. And if that direction goes towards Earth, then when it hits the Earth 8 minutes later, actually, I'll be traveling at the speed of light. I don't think it goes quite 8 minutes. I think it's a little bit slower, but not that much. You're going to start having aurora borealis, okay? You're technically going to have a geomagnetic storm in the Earth's magnetic sphere, okay? Also known as magnetic storm, temporary disturbance in the Earth's magnetic sphere, which is driven by interactions between the magnetosphere and large transient plasma and matte structures that originate on or near the Earth, okay? So, solar storm spews out, creates a geomagnetic storm in our atmosphere, okay? And then this geomagnetic storm will create an aurora borealis. Okay, aurora borealis, and you can see. I mean, they come in different colors, but because the atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, a lot of the times I think it's green is the most prevalent color because that's the most, molecule for it to interact with, depending on what level it is and how energetic it is. But I say the moon is like a white one. But you know what? This, to me, seems like a very light color of green that, while though it definitely wasn't a greenish color, it wasn't far from this. Okay, it was not far from this color right here. It's very close. All right. So, yes, aurora borealis. All right. Now, the aurora borealis pretty much only occurs over like the hemispheres of the planet, like the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. I think the northern hemisphere more than the southern hemisphere for some reason. Not sure about that. Seems to be though. Might be a specious fact. It's a thing. But you can see, it looks like the atmosphere is on fire, right? Like it is actually legit on fire. Like there is a fire going, burning in the atmosphere. Okay. Um, Now this is pretty radical. Just this looks alone, okay? But to have this happen on the moon when no one's ever seen this before is even crazier, okay? For various reasons, all right? Let's see if this one does a good job of explaining it. No, this one doesn't look near as impressive as the other one. But you can see, hovering in the atmosphere, going up towards space. That's how it works, okay? And I looked up, all sorts of crazy things like moonshine. Of course, this is liquor, but there is an actual moonshine term. It just basically refers to, I guess, how much light reflects off the moon to light up things like the aurora borealis. It's called moonshine. There is MoonGlow. There is no MoonGlow. I looked it up. There's no such MoonGlow. Or just if it is, it's just mostly sunlight reflected from the parts of the moon's surface. It's just another name for, I guess, moonshine or moonlight. Light that reflects off the moon. They're just come with different names for the same thing for some reason. It's like a horrible waste of words to me, but whatever. All right. And I looked this up. All right. I'm like, yo, dog, aurora borealis, moon, anything. The moon affects the visibility of aurora borealis by making fainter displays harder to see, but it does not make the aurora borealis entirely. So I guess they're just saying that the moon, by how much moonlight is pitting out, can make the aurora borealis glow brighter or not, right? So look at this, moon glow during solar storm. Give me something, man. Give me something, Google. A solar storm does not make the moon glow itself, as the moon lacks the atmosphere and magnetic field necessary to create the glowing effect seen on the Earth. Instead, solar storms interact with the moon's surface in a complex way, such as surface erosion, potentially generating electrical sparks in the soil. So the only thing that they're talking about how magnetic or geomagnetic storms or solar storms or whatever radiation leaking up from the sun affects the moon in some weird precarious way would be they talk about it might create electrical sparks in the soil. Okay, that's cool, but that definitely isn't going to make the whole moon look like it's on fire from the Earth. Not going to happen. So there's nothing, dude. There is nothing on the whole interwebs slammed directly in the surface. Yeah, they don't talk about anything. There is nothing, dude. There is nothing on the whole interwebs about this event. But I'm telling you, it is real. And I have pictures, but you're not going to like them. They're not very good. I've tried my best to take a high quality picture of this stuff, but it's really hard because at nighttime you gotta have different access to lux settings and stuff to take a picture of the moon exactly as you want it. And I sold my, $1,000 Nikon camera I had that I used to run around trying to be a photographer at all the parties and shit, take pictures for people because, I like to help people out. I think it was fun. I sold it before I moved, so I don't have that camera anymore. All I got is my cell phone and my drone. And I took it with both. And I mixed with the settings as best I could to get it look as most realistic as possible, but I think I failed miserably. But I mean, as we can see, the aurora borealis, like when it hits Jupiter, doesn't not look like, for some reason it's hitting the North Pole more than the South Pole. Maybe because that's the angle where the sun's coming at it from. I'm not sure. But does it not look like Jupiter is enveloped in a purple fire, right? Or a blue one here. And this one looks less like a fire and more like, I don't know, sparkles just traveling in concentric circles around the thing. And that's just probably the wavelength they took it at to get it to that sort of a thing. Yeah, here's just that same picture. Not even one on the southern pole, just the northern pole. Yeah, and here's the purple again. Yeah. It looks kind of like fire, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is what's causing this MoonGlow event, is an aurora borealis directly on the moon. I mean, it's possible. The moon does have an atmosphere, but it's a lot less. Does it have any atmosphere at all, actually, now that I think about it? Does the moon have an atmosphere? Yes, the moon has a very thin atmosphere called an exosphere, but it's so sparse that it doesn't protect the surface from solar radiation or meteorites. Okay, yeah, we know it's not going to protect them from that. But there is an atmosphere. And what's it made of? A mix of helium, neon, argon, carbon, and methane, huh? Okay, let's do some science right now with me. I'm going down this rabbit hole. Moon's atmosphere, most prevalent gas. Helium and neon, very thin, but I'm guessing helium's probably going to be the most, right? Or actually, they're saying argon. Holy crap, dude! Is argon really the most? Like, is that really it? That doesn't make any sense at all. Who did this survey? Hot diggity damn, I guess it is argon. Okay, so I guess if we come here, argon glow, what color from storm? Not primary source. The visible colors during experience. Oxygen, green and red. Nitrogen, blue, purple, and pink. Okay, yeah, but what's argon, dude? It's not telling me anything. Here we go. Pink and yellow. This color causes a mix from different gases. Oxygen, blue, nitrogen combine to make the pink. Man, they're really not going to say like what it is. That's crazy. They won't even tell you. I was hoping to find out what gas would release like a whitish color under aurora borealis, and then use that to try and sniff out, what gas could be causing it, to see if it's the most prevalent one in the atmosphere on the moon. Trying to do some science here. But this is just not, the math's not mathing out. Like, it's not telling me any of the colors of argon. And if it is, it's probably not going to be white. White glow. result from the human eye limitation to see color in low light conditions. When the aura is dim, the eyes perceive only brightness, making the faint colors appear. Okay, so this is interesting. So it's saying it's an illusion. It's not really white. It could be other colors that are mixing together, but it's still not telling me what argon is made from at all. Well, anyways, we have now ruled out this theory that it is actually an aurora borealis occurring on the moon's surface with the most prevalent gas there, which is probably going to be argon or helium. Does it tell us what helium glows? Blue or purple. So not going to be helium. Man, I really can't believe it will not do argon. That's crazy. What if we go to AI? Green? No, 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 no. See, once again, it's not telling us anything. Okay. From electric field. Let's try that. Let's try electric field. And if it doesn't do that, purple. So it's purple, just like the second one, which would be helium. Purple or a lavender glow, which is actually kind of like a white purple. So okay, this I was hoping we could rule this out or confirm it, but it looks like we can't do either. It looks like it is entirely possible that it could be a lavender, a white purple glow that is so low level light that our eyes can't distinguish the exact color. So that's a possibility in this theory that could be explaining this. Another possibility is that the moon's reflection is white. Okay, like if we look, the moon is white. Okay, so the moon is white. So if there were any sort of additional light being beamed and reflected from the moon for whatever reason, or as it was traveling through the Earth's atmosphere, which was having an aurora borealis effect going on, then that white light coming from through the Earth's atmosphere, which is being hit by a solar storm and being lit up in certain ways and being diffused, and the lights being manipulated, so to speak, could create the optical illusion of the moon would be on fire. And just so you know how big it was, a lot of times it goes up about half to 3/4. Very rarely does it cover the entire moon, but it'll be out about like this far out. Okay, so here's the moon, and it will be out like, man, can I even? There it is. So it'll be out just like this far out. Okay, it won't be that far out. It will just be like maybe a few hundred miles just off the surface of the moon, which kind of simulates the atmosphere, right? But then also, if it's beaming through, you would expect it to be very centered to that too. So we have two theories that could be causing this. All right, one, it could be the argon, which is glowing lavender color during aurora borealis. I don't think that's the deal, though. I think what's more likely happening is we have a solar storm and aurora borealis event occurring on the Earth, and then the moonlight is being reflected. The sunlight is bouncing off the moonlight, reflecting through the Earth's atmosphere, which is causing a distortion effect. I believe at this particular time, that's the most likely candidate for this new, completely novel thing that I have seen that I cannot get anyone else on the planet to confirm for whatever reason. Okay, so let's see if we can take some look at some pictures. Okay, maybe the pictures will okay. So Whoa, what happened here? Why is this... Okay, I guess that's why. Okay, because it was the wrong size. Okay, that's why. So, here's a picture from my cell phone of a moon, okay? But this is not any moon. This is, in case you can't tell, a blood moon, okay? So this is about the best resolution I can get it to take during a blood moon, okay? Which is a full, a full lunar eclipse, a full lunar blood moon that occurred in my region of the planet, I don't know, 5-6 months ago. Now, if we take a look at... Oh, it looks like I have to actually physically do this every single time. So that could be a problem, but whatever. I don't care because I'm crazy like that. Okay. Oh, so no, it does go. Okay. So, yeah, okay. So there's the one that we just saw. There is another, picture of the same blood moon. Pretty much. You can see there is a glow, though. I want you to look at this. All where the moon glow appears during this lunar eclipse. If you look, there is an additional glow, a lighter glow, a brighter glow, right where I say the moon glow is on a normal. This is just a blood moon. This is not what I'm talking about, but we're doing some science here. We're looking at shit. Okay? So right around here, what I said is where it usually goes up, just a little above half up, and 75% up, and it will envelop the whole lower half mostly, and then it sometimes won't even touch the top part. So that to me tells me that whatever is effect is making the illusion of the blood moon is also the same one working to make this moon glow effect. And we know that a blood moon is not an aurora borealis. It's just purely reflection off of the moon during as the light is traveling through the Earth's atmosphere. So once again, we got light going, to the moon or from the moon and through the Earth's atmosphere to get to us. And it's also going through the Earth's atmosphere, so it's hitting it twice. Very interesting. I wonder what a blood moon would look like during an aurora borealis. Like if you had a blood moon with this moon glow effect, what the hell would that even look like? Would the moon look like it was on fire with the blood fire? Because that's the color that you're dealing with is red, no longer white. It's red. That would be the coolest thing I got to ever see. I want to see that now. I really want to see this effect during a blood moon now. And just so you know, like I said, the first time I saw this was about 10 years ago. And then I did not see it again for another 5 years. Okay? That's the only time I ever saw it. No, my bad. I saw it again one other time with my sister. But no, even that was just a few years ago. That was a few years ago. My bad. Yeah. So, yeah. So, in the last 5 years, I've seen the event a lot. Like, dare I say, almost once a month have I seen this event in the last 5 years. It's been very common the last 5 years. If you go out and look at the moon every single night, with all the solar activity going on right now, because we're in the middle of the sun's reversal of its thing, in the middle of its 11-year cycle, okay? It's an 11-year solar cycle where the sun flips out, reverses its magnetic poles, and has a shit fit and shoots out all sorts of energy during this. We are right in the middle of that right now, at the peak of it. And because the last 11-year cycle was very tame, this one is very, very strong, okay? Very, very strong. It's double what the last one was. This is a very strong solar cycle we're having now. So it does not surprise me that we are seeing a lot more of these MoonGlow events now during the peak of our solar cycle, and much less when the sun was having much less solar hissy fits, so to speak. Okay, so just so you know, I saw it once 10 years ago, and then I didn't see it again for 5 years. And the last 5 years, I've seen this shit all the time, okay? If you go out and look at the moon during an aurora borealis, like a solar storm, I'm telling you, you're probably going to see what I'm looking at. It depends on where you're at on the planet, maybe. I don't know. I know I saw it in Florida multiple times. I've seen it, here in Asia many times. I've seen it other places too. So I've seen it in Washington too. I mean, it can be seen all over the place, I believe. I don't think there's a geological place where you can't see it, unless maybe you're right on the equator, possibly, in which case sucks. But so let's see if we can't get a better picture here. Okay, that's probably the best picture I got. Okay, you can see this is a picture during it, but as I tried, the moon was overpowered and you couldn't see anything. Okay, there was nothing that could be seen here from this one. There's a little star Venus, I want to say, by the moon. All right, and this one I had it the most still. I had it like resting on a wooden post, so my hand would not move at all. And I had like all the settings turned as much for low light as possible, and I still couldn't see it at all. I mean, you can see a little bit of a thing, an extra ring of light coming from around the moon, but it's really not much. You don't see much. Let's go back here. Now this one is probably the best one that you can see it. Now this one was not a full moon. This one was only like part of a full moon, I want to say. But you can see that it's taken over the entire southern part of the moon. Okay? And you can see there is a part right here on the moon. Like you can see, this is where the moon's surface is right here. You can see, you can follow and trace this circle, okay? But under it, there's a second circle that's lopsided, that's right underneath where I say the moon glow concentrates, the moon fire concentrates on the bottom side of the moon and then slowly envelops up the moon, all right? And here, you can see on this picture, it only goes up to maybe like not even a quarter of the moon, and you can't even see the whole top part of the moon. I don't even know why that is. It's all messed up. But you can see there is definitely something funny going on with the moon with this picture. And I know it's a horrible, shitty picture, guys. I know. I don't have a professional camera that allows me to mess with all the lux settings and the night vision settings to get a perfect copy of the moon. I don't have it. But you can see, like on this one, you can clearly see there is, I got two more pictures too, it might show. There is clearly some funny business going on with extra light, an extra circle of light emanating from the moon that's coming around it, this messing, like this optical illusion. And I'm telling you, that's the moon glow. That's it. It doesn't look perfectly right in this picture because I couldn't get a perfect picture of it, but I was able to at least capture something, okay? There was something here that I can show you, an actual physical photograph that I have that is not normal. This is not what the moon normally looks like, okay? And here is, I want to say this one is from my DJI, my drone, okay? This one, I want to say also was during a MoonGlow event, but you can't really see much of the moon because it got drowned out. I mean, you can see the lower half does look a little bit brighter with this extra circle emanating around it, this light circle, than it definitely is the high part. But and it is kind of lopsided right here. Like you see, it's definitely not a perfect circle right here with how the light shimmers. Um, but unfortunately, it does not look anywhere like what I would call, adequate enough. And this is the other one I got too from also my DJI drone. And you can see, you know, looks like the sun, don't it? And yeah, no, that's the moon. Unfortunately, that moonlight on a DJI drone too bright for it to handle. Overpowered it. But um, so yeah, we'll take a one last look at the best picture I got, just so you can see. um, you can tell, man, there is something weird going on here. And if I had to guess, like I do, a guesstimate, because that's what we do as scientists until we know, right? We guesstimate until we get it right, then we can prove it. I think it's just the way that the moonlight is shimmering off of the Earth's atmosphere during an actual aurora borealis event. And you can't see the aurora borealis where I'm at, but there is enough of stuff going on from a solar storm that it will mess with the reflection of the moonlight and create this extra shimmer effect, which you can see. There is definitely this extra shimmering of light going on for the bottom half and even up around here and all this that should not be here. But it's not really the best picture. So I I guess I'm calling to you guys. Somebody with a damn good camera, maybe a telescope camera would be excellent. Focus on the moon with everything you got all night long during strong aurora borealis solar storm events. I'm telling you, sooner or later you're going to see what I'm seeing, the moon fire, the moon glow, and you're going to be like, what the fuck is that? Like, how come I've never heard of this before, ever? Like, that is just, it's like the most insane optical. The moon literally looks like it is just covered, enveloped in actual fire. But as we can see, though, from this event, so I'm going to take a look one last time, that this shimmering is the same color as the reflection, which tells me it's probably the reflection of the light. I really think it is, because this shimmering is the same color as the moonlight. It's not like a different color. It's not like a purple lavender color if it were argon. It just looks like moonlight that's on fire enveloping the moon is what it looks like, okay? It's pretty radical. So, yeah. I guess that's all I got for you guys on this whole moon shine, moon fire, moon glow event spectacle. I don't know what to even call it. I guess if you guys want to help me call it something, do that, whatever. If you want to do the actual research, go for the Nobel Peace Prize for discovering how this all works, do it, man. Do it. Just name it something cool, bro, is all I ask, Nothing gay. It's got to be something cool that hits hard. Like Moonfire or MoonGlow, something. It's got to be something, dude. All right. And with that, yeah, I guess I wish I had more I could do on this novel thing that we discovered, but unfortunately, that's all I got. A year of trying to collect data on this every time I see it, and I originally had like about 30 or 40 pictures. But damn, man, if I just can't get my hands on a good camera right now to get a picture of this, and I really don't feel like spending thousands of dollars just to do it. I mean, I probably could. Why not? Putin's about to nuke the world anyways in about the next 9 months, by my recollection, 10 months. money ain't gonna be worth much after that, so fuck it, might as well. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think it over. I gotta get drunk. That's what I do my best thinking. But yeah, guys, something new for you to check out. All right, until next time, adios.
Like, subscribe, submit.